Hotep, c'est nous. Hena, c'est nous. Iti, Ren I, Shaka Nugu Kemet. How are you today? We have another free talk, question and answers, and open mic. Our baby girl's a bit agitated. Shh. We have Nestle Merat in the place to be who wrote, "Can't wait, bro." That comment was left actually good 45 minutes ago, or half an hour ago, which is a good look. Welcome to you. We have Sat 12. Welcome to you. We have Anuket World Traveler who wrote Runya Raro, present and accounted for. Now, you know what's strange? I'm wondering, since it says World Traveler, I'm wondering if it's just the same lady who shared her experiences living abroad with the sister. Um, because I don't know that word, but I would say Swahili. And the sister said that she was from Tanzania. We have. Oh, c'est pas bon ça. We have Kojo in the place to be who wrote Peace Shaka, peace to you all. Of Afro Asiatic who wrote Salamu Hotep Shaka. Ahlan, Marhaban. We have Anuket who wrote, "I was in the building last night." Oh, yes, I did see that. I did see that. So the sister says, no, it's Shona, meaning peace. Okay. So Runyararo. Runyararo means peace. Just like Hotep stands for peace. Now, are you currently residing in South Africa or Azania? By the way, I have shared the calling link to anyone who would like to get on the panel. Sat 12 wrote, "Do you think the Black Hebrew movement on the internet is getting bigger, staying the same, or getting smaller? Like in the past year, I think the other indigenous trend is less now." I really don't know, and not even outside of the internet. I really don't know if it's getting bigger or smaller. I don't have a clue. I don't have any idea. Now, Anuket says that she's from New York. Okay. All right. Now, one moment, please. Okay. So, is there something? Oh, Nestle Merat. Hey, no, 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 no. Nestle Merat. Are you a brother or sister? So Nestle Merat is obviously Haitian, not only because of the flag, but because of the Creole that he wrote. Brother mon la oui, on ka wè ou la, ki jan ou ye, sak pase, ki kote ou ye kounya? Est-ce que aux États-Unis ou bien est-ce que c'est Haïti ou ye? Est-ce que c'est Canada ou ye? Est-ce que c'est la France ou ye? Ki kote ou ye mon cher? Ou ma chère? Fèm konan si c'est un monsieur ou ye ou bien si c'est un madame ou ye? Now, Satwa is asking, because if you look at Sanetta, he has Hebrews on so much. He always had Hebrews on. Like he always had Well, he always had Abrahamic believers on, and really, I think he has Abrahamic believers more than anything else. And some might be tempted to wonder if he has more Hebrews than anything else. Hebrew Israelite or whatever you, however you want to call them or describe them. Now, can someone show me some depiction of black Moorish rulers? Because yesterday we didn't see any. Now, Satwev is saying, do you think that having race on the French census is a better idea than the US that has race? Well, it's not just that in France they don't have race on any census. It is that any ethnic kind of census whatsoever, not just for the population, but even something to do. Well, maybe the exception might be in the medical field. Oh, Nestle Mirat is here.
Ah oui, mon frère.
Ah, ça passe, mon cher, qui janvier.
Ah, moins en forme, ça qu'a fait.
Hmm. Voilà, voilà. Côté où est Kounia?
Naso mieux, mais nous connaissons Naso
Oh,
vive, c'est Naso mérité.
ou t'es relé avant, ou t'es déjà relé?
Yeah, yeah,
Oui, m'te oublié ça, oui. So you see,
yeah.
this is a brother who stays in Nassau. I just remember now. Now that he said that, I remember that he called before. See, I remember. And yes, brother, feel free to speak. Thank you for calling.
Yeah, so man, I remember coming across these because you asked so I believe someone asked you the question earlier about the Black Hebrew Israelite movement earlier, and um, you know, but I've come across these guys some years back, maybe 3 years, maybe 3 years back.
Hello.
I thought they
Oh, okay.
were
Is
interesting.
okay. It was just breaking up. I don't know if it's just on my end, but um, I just heard when you said you came across them like a few years back, and can you take over from that point, please?
Yeah, I met him a few years back. Yeah, I thought it was interesting. But when I do like a deeper analysis of their belief and their studies and stuff, it it barely seems any different than the your traditional uh Christian belief, really, because that's the base of it anyway.
Mm. Well,
Yeah,
yes, yes,
so
yes. It's
and
yes, yes. Feel free. Continue, brother. Feel free.
yeah, and I had to do a small research, not too deep, to see how long ago it started, and it started with someone that started the movement in the U.S. I believe. I didn't go too deep into it, but because really didn't have too much interest into it, so I thought it was as old, but it's not as old as I thought it was.
Did it start with the? Now I don't know if I get the name right, but something like
You can hear me?
Hebrew Zionist. Oh yes, yes, I did hear you. Yes. Can you hear me?
Oh man, I'm always doing bad, man. I'm always calling you on bad.
Okay. Can you hear me? Oh, it looks like there's some difficulties.
Yeah,
Brother is still on the
it was a
panel. Oh
movement that
yes, yes.
started by one guy. Don't remember. Yeah, I'm having a little internet issue on my end. That's on my end. Sorry, let me try to rectify that.
Okay, the brother is going to try to come back. Now, I was about to ask him, did it start with those this movement called something like Hebrew Zionist Jews, something like that? I'm wondering. Now, let me check the comments. Now, we have Magi Commander was joined us, and this is a Haitian Creole message left by our brother Nestle Merat. So, regarding this issue of the census now, whether I think it's a good idea or not, well, doesn't change much to me. But maybe in the medical field in France, when it comes to health, that might be the only exception because um, things are not necessarily the same for different ethnic groups. Shh, shh, shh. But yeah, I don't necessarily have any input uh, whether or not it's a better idea. Now, Nestle Mirat wrote, I sincerely apologize to everyone. I'm experiencing this third world country internet problem. Well, don't worry, brother. We heard most of what you said. It's just towards the end that it started breaking up a little bit. So, but you will be able to catch that if you ever have a look at the video after the live stream. But we've heard the majority of what you've said. Indeed. Now, remember, brothers and sisters, if any of you can show me, um, can show me depictions of Moorish Moorish rulers, Moors who were in charge in Europe, and I mean black Moorish rulers, black Moors who were in charge in Europe. And by all means, feel free. So 12 wrote Nick Canaan got in trouble with the Jews, and now young Pharaoh got kicked out of a conservative event for the same reason. That was on CNN. What is the black and Jewish relation in France? You have, I couldn't give any percentage, but let's say for the sake of example, you have 50% black Christians, 50% black Muslims. Now, the Muslims, for the most part, they are anti-Zionists. So them being anti-Zionists, they will not be so um, Israel friendly. Um, I'm talking about the state. I'm talking about basically Zionism. You see, um, besides that, in France, there's not much situation or trouble, uh, interfaith trouble. The problem is really political. The situation in Israel regarding Palestine. That's the main thing. Now, at large, there's so many things that the Muslims, not only the black Muslims, but Muslims in general, will say regarding Jewish people. But for the most part, they will say that privately. See, so I would leave it up to them to express their thoughts. Because if I say some of the things that they think, or some of the things that they say, some people might just come and happen to think that this is my views. And really, I think it's no different than in America. Usually, it's the same things you hear. So, Afroasiatic wrote respectfully, you have not done a critical analysis of oral traditions in concert with genetic studies. Children of Israel is very scientific subject matter. We ignore certain truth. Okay, all right, I heard. Now, Are there any of you here, brothers and sisters, who fear or think or believe that people in Canaan were black? And that is, let's say, 1500 BC until modern time. Well, when I say until modern time, until whenever you feel or think or believe the original or indigenous so-called black Canaanites were kicked out or pushed out of their homeland or invaded or conquered, however you want to word it, because we always have the same sad story of Aryans, white hordes of invaders who went to the Middle East and set up shop and had the original black Semites, so called, out of the picture, no longer in control, no longer in power. William Cupp wrote, "Hey, my brother, we are from Detroit again. How long have you been in your conscious journey?" Well, it's funny you ask because before this live stream, I was just thinking about the fact that this is March 1st today. Is it? No, it's the 28th of February. Tomorrow will be March 1st. And in another month, in another month, it will be 17 years that I started my website. So I could say that my journey started 17 years ago. But before I started my website, uh, I was interested. I didn't have the literature though. I was underage. I didn't really have money. But reading Malcolm X's speeches, um, and reading Marcus Garvey's book. Now, those were, I read them in French, and I don't recall the title of Marcus Garvey's book. I think it was the Opinions of Marcus Garvey. And as for Malcolm X's compilation of speeches, in French they call it Black Power. So, yes, I guess that's how I could answer without being long winded. Now, Afro-Asiatic wrote, there's an extremely high rate of oral traditions east to West Africa where tribes claim Middle East origins, black tribes of African. There's an oral tradition in the nation of Islam where they say that Allah came in the person of Father Muhammad and that Father Muhammad is from the Quraysh tribe, the tribe of Prophet Muhammad, Muhammad ibn Abdullah, that is, and that Allah in the person, being Father Muhammad, has a father called Alfonso and a mother called Baby G. And it doesn't make sense at all. For someone born in Arabia from the Quraysh tribe of Muhammad and to bear the name of Alfonso. And like I said yesterday, well, you know what? Let's read it together. Let's all read together. We'll read a little something. NOA, oral tradition. Share the link in the chat. We're going to read together. We're going to reason together. We're going to build What is today's mathematics? Okay, let's make it larger. How about now? Okay, good enough. Now, you can do just as I did. Control F or Command F if you are on that Mac tip, if you are Macish, and you type in camel, you will have this link, camel trip to Egypt with Jesus. Now here it is. In the book entitled The History of Jesus' Birth, Death, and What It Means, Elijah Muhammad said that Joseph, and that is Jesus' father, that Joseph rented one of those fast camels, that he put Mary and her baby on it, and said to the and said to the camel, "Take this woman to Cairo, Egypt. Hurry, hurry." The camel went directly to Cairo with Mary and her child Jesus. So according to the NOI, Nation of Islam that is, according to the NOI tradition, Joseph spoke to a camel. Now yesterday, I think I said donkey, so I made a mistake. I hope I will not get crucified. It's not a donkey, it's a camel. Joseph spoke to the camel and said, "Take this woman to Cairo, Egypt. Hurry, hurry." And the camel went directly to Cairo with Mary and her child, Jesus. So that's a tradition. That's an oral tradition. Does that make it factual? Does it make it true? What do you think, brothers and sisters? What do you think? Now, if you agree, if you think that this oral tradition of the NOI is factual, then type in camel up. If you feel or if you think that this is not factual, that this is not accurate, that this is not historical, then just type in camel down. Keep the comments going. I will read them. Now, there is what was the other thing that I wanted to mention? Oh yes, let's find out what Pharaoh said before he died. Now, as you can see here, it says Pharaoh said Allahu Akbar. Science of time. That's Elijah Muhammad still. Elijah Muhammad said he visited Egypt with many judgments until it brought Pharaoh to his knees in the Red Sea. And at last, when he was swallowing water, drowning, he opened his mouth and declared Allah was God in these words, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. And Allah remembered him for declaring and bearing witness that he was the greatest and not Pharaoh. And today his body is preserved in Egypt there now to show you the man who opposed God. Show you his body there in a museum somewhere in Egypt. They are holding his body. They have found his body, and it is his body. So we don't have any name for that pharaoh. Most people presume that the pharaoh of the Exodus is Ramesses II or Ramesu. What will be the date for Ramesses II or Ramesu? Do I have Britannica? Yes, I do have it. Oh, you know what? Let's do Exodus and see if they give us any date. We'll cut the chase. Great. Let me share Encyclopedia Britannica 2012. So you know that I don't make this up. Now, as you can see, this is the entry for Exodus. The liberation of the people of Israel from slavery in Egypt in the 13th century BC under the leadership of Moses. Okay? 13th century BC. Now, let's look at Arabic language. Let's see if we have any indication in terms of date. Not really sure they will give us one. I'm having a look quickly and I don't see any indication of date, which is a shame. But 1300 BC, I can say with confidence that there was no Arabic language in the 13th century BC. So, since there was no Arab, what's going on? No, I don't know what happened there. Never mind. So, since there was no Arabic language in the 13th century BC, it's not possible that Pharaoh said Allahu Akbar as he was drowning. So, those were just two examples. Okay, let me move on with the comments. Sat 12 wrote, daughter of former NYPD officer says Malcolm X assassination letter is fake. She says her cousin released it to get attention on a book he worked on. Sat 12, can you share a link with us? I haven't heard that yet. It's allegation of forgery. So I think you know how to do. You can send it to me on a private chat so I can share it on the chat and it will be a clickable link. But because I'm curious, I will still have a quick look. Now, oh, we don't have the name. Okay. Next. Now, news. Okay, Raymond Wood. So, see if there's anything coming up. The Washington Post. Okay. I guess the Washington Post is reliable. So, Well, we're gonna find out. What I'm going to do right now is change the title of this video. Okay. Now I'm looking for the name of the sister, Kelly Wood. Okay. I'm just looking for the proper title. Okay. I found the appropriate title, so I'm about to do that right now. Baby girl sleeping. Bear with me, brothers and sisters. It's no rush. Okay. The comments going. I will read them after. Tu veux la prendre, s'il te plaît? Okay. Baby girl. She's in good hands now with her mommy. What's up, brother? Radio One, how you doing?
Oh, peace, brother. Yes, I'm doing good. I'm doing good. How about yourself?
I'm doing good. No, I'm about to share this with the family. Thanks to Sat 12. Um, I'm just about changing the title right now. Says, hold on. The guy was called Raymond Wood. Says Raymond Wood, daughter Kelly. Okay. Um, I'll remove that, and that will be yes. So I've changed the title to Malcolm X assassination letter, alleging I'm sorry, NYPD and FBI involvement. I made a mistake. He is fake. Is fake, says Raymond Wood daughter. And now we'll share the article. First, I'm sharing the link. The Washington Post article. And the title that I just read is what will appear before the URL. Yes, it is in the chat. I think, okay, I will change the picture as well. Bear with me, brothers and sisters. We have all the time. It's very important. Better this way. That's it. Now let's read this article together. Share screen. There it is. Now, okay, I can make it bigger. And now, perfect. So here we go. This individual on screen is Reggie Wood, a cousin of the late New York police officer Raymond Wood, and he speaks at a news conference Sunday. This article is by Derek Hawkins. I like that name because some of you might be familiar with the Mario Van Peebles movie entitled New Jack City. That's one of Wesley Snipes' greatest role. And towards the end of the movie, Wesley Snipes is interrogated by a black female lawyer, and Wesley Snipes ironically replies to her by saying, "Miss Hawkins." And he might say something like, "I wasn't born with a silver spoon in my mouth, Miss Hawkins." But anyway, that was just for cultural reference because movie is part of art. The article is dated February 27, 2021 at 11:44 p.m. GMT plus 1. So yesterday. A letter purporting to contain a New York police officer's deathbed confession about his involvement in the assassination of Malcolm X is a fake, the officer's daughter said Friday, adding another wrinkle to the deceased to the decades-long investigations into the civil rights leader's killing. In an interview with NY1, Kelly Wood said there was no way her father, Raymond Wood, wrote the letter in which he purportedly admitted to helping arrest members of Malcolm X's security team days before the 1965 assassination. "My father is not a coward. He would have never ever asked anybody to speak on his behalf after his passing," she said. "If he had something to say, he would have said it when he was alive. I'm certain of that." The document made waves when it was released last week by Malcolm X's three daughters, civil rights attorney Ben Crump and Wood's cousin, Reggie Wood. They said Raymond Wood wrote it after falling ill in 2011 and asked that it not be made public until after he died. The revelation seemed to bolster long-standing claims by some activists and historians that the New York Police Department and the FBI helped orchestrate the murder of Malcolm X, who was gunned down in a Harlem auditorium as he was preparing to speak. But Kelly Wood said it would have been out of character for her father to keep critical information about Malcolm X's death hidden for all those years. If he was involved in any way, she said, he would have spoken up earlier. While she believed Reggie Wood may have been sincerely trying to assist Malcolm X's family, she told NY1, hurting my father's reputation is not the way to do it. The letter described how Raymond Wood, while working as an undercover NYPD officer, was assigned to a unit that infiltrated civil rights groups in search of illegal activities so that the FBI could arrest their leaders. According to the letter, Wood's, Wood's supervisors threatened to charge him with false crimes if he tried to resign. I participated in actions that, in hindsight, were deplorable and detrimental to my own black people, the letter read. Under the direction of my handlers, I was told to encourage leaders and members of the civil rights group to commit felonious acts. In February 1965, according to the letter, Wood's supervisors had him lure two key players on Malcolm X's security team into a plot to bomb the Statue of Liberty. I will comment on that after. Four people were arrested on February 16 on charges that they sought to blow the head of the structure, and Wood was credited on the front page of the New York Times for infiltrating the group. Malcolm X was assassinated February 21 at the Audubon Ballroom, where guards were unable to secure the entry. According to the letter, Wood's supervisors ordered him to be at the ballroom that day, and witnesses reported him leaving the scene after the fatal shooting. Khalil Islam, also known as Thomas Johnson, was later arrested and wrongfully convicted to protect my cover and the secrets of the FBI and NYPD, the letter read. Wood is said to have written the letter after being diagnosed with stomach cancer in 2011. The cancer went into remission in 2012 and he did not die until November. At last weekend's news conference, Reggie Wood said his cousin had been estranged from the family for more than 46 years around the time his health declined and wanted to reconnect with his relatives before he died. Reggie Wood said he volunteered to move Raymond Wood to Tampa so his family could care for him. After Raymond Wood died, he found the confession letter, which he said Raymond Wood had written and mailed to Reggie Wood's father. For 10 years, I've carried this confession secretly in fear of what could happen to my family and myself if the government found out what I knew, Reggie Wood said. Raymond Wood, he said, lived in constant fear for 46 years, worried about what the NYPD and FBI would do to his family if he had told the dark secrets that he held that helped destroy black leaders and black power organizations. Unsure of how to handle the letter, Reggie Wood said he reached out to Crump, one of the nation's leading civil rights attorneys, who told him to release a memoir detailing what he knew. Speaking alongside Reggie Wood, Crump said a full reinvestigation of Malcolm X's assassination was warranted. This was orchestrated, and the only way we get to justice, he said, is with the truth. Crump and representatives for Malcolm X's family didn't immediately respond to messages seeking comment Saturday. Now, the thing that puzzles me, there are two things that kind of puzzle me. Malcolm X's security team, who would have tried to blow up the Statue of Liberty. I mean, that sounds strange to me. That Malcolm X's bodyguards or security team try to blow up the Statue of Liberty. The other thing that kind of puzzles me is that here we are told for 10 years I've carried this confession secretly in fear of what could happen to my family and myself if the government found out what I knew. That's what Reggie Wood said. So, if this individual, Reggie Wood, the cousin of the NYPD officer, he was afraid for himself and his family for 10 years, how come now he's no longer afraid? That's not a big deal, it's just an interrogation. I'm wondering. Now, there are other articles about this issue. We'll see later on. But we have Radio 1, and we also have Brother Chris. So, Brother Chris, hold on a minute, please. Brother Radio 1, feel free to speak.
Oh yes. Interesting that you read that article. I mean, you know, the side that is guilty of committing a crime, you know, they're never going to admit to their guilt. You know, there's always two sides to the story. You know, they always going to make it try to seem as if they're innocent. You know, and but if Malcolm X was alive, and I find it funny that this is coming out after Malcolm X is dead. You know, but I'm sure if Malcolm X was alive, that we would know a whole lot more to the story if he was alive. And but I'm just not buying it. Anything that the Nation of Islam is saying, that's trying to deny their their involvement in the killing of Malcolm X. I'm not buying it. Because I know them and I know that they will make up anything and say anything, to make it seem as if they're innocent, to try to make it seem as if they're the good guy. But I'm not buying it.
I hear you, brother. I agree. I think that the people who are guilty will say, you know what, it was us. Now, stay with us, Brother Radio 1.
Yeah.
Brother Chris, I'm going to put you on the panel in about a couple of seconds. Welcome, Brother Chris. Feel free to
Hello?
speak.
Can you?
Yeah,
What's up, brother? What's up?
I'm chilling. How about yourself?
Good, I'm doing good. I just wanted to say, like, so when that news story broke out, the article, the press conference, or whatever you want to call it was so funny seeing on social media all these Nation of Islam members saying, finally, you guys can stop pointing the finger at Farrakhan, apologize to Farrakhan, stuff like that. And I'm like, that literally does not negate anything that Farrakhan said in the past. He was literally like, we dealt with him like a nation deals with a traitor. What the hell business is it of yours? And then all this other stuff of him saying that shit, like, it doesn't negate any of that. So I don't know why that's like a contradiction when they say that shit. It doesn't make any sense.
And you know what? I'm glad that you mentioned this thing because yesterday I talked about it. I was paraphrasing it, but it's only going to last a few seconds because some people might not be aware of that. So let's listen uh, to what Farrakhan had to say after Malcolm was dead.
All right, all right.
Yeah, I love Elijah Muhammad enough that if you attack him, I would kill you. Yesterday, today, and tomorrow. And I'm not a killer, but neither are you. But if somebody attack what you love, each one of you in here would become a killer instantaneously. Am I lying? Mother, let somebody look like they're attacking your child. Here's a woman who fought a bear because the bear snatched her baby. And she ran the bear down, screaming until the bear dropped her baby. Love casts out fear. We don't give a damn about no white man law when you attack what we love. And frankly, it ain't none of your business. What have you got to say about it? Did you teach Malcolm? Did you make Malcolm? Did you clean up Malcolm? Did you put Malcolm out before the world? Was Malcolm your traitor or was he ours? And if we dealt with him like a nation deals with a traitor, what the hell business is it of yours? You just shut your mouth and stay out of it. Because in the future, we're going to become a nation. And the nation got to be able to deal with traitors and cutthroats and turncoats. The white man deals with his. The Jews deal with theirs. Salman Rushdie wrote a nasty thing about the prophet, and Imam Khomeini put out a death thing on him, and it stands today.
Now, some people will have a hard time claiming that this was taken out of context. It says that it was from 1993, 28 years after the death of Malcolm X. So I guess some people have almost 3 decades to talk sideways about people after they die. Now, there's another thing, and some people I know are aware of what we've just seen and heard, But remember the key point. You just stay out of it. Just shut your mouth and stay out of it. That's what he said. But now I'm going to play some audio of Farrakhan speaking. I don't know the date, but it's pretty clear that it was shortly after Malcolm X's passing. And it sounds like almost a eulogy for Malcolm X's killers, almost praising the killers of Malcolm X. But I said almost for a reason. It's up to you to decide. Let's hear it.
Malcolm didn't know what he was playing with. No, he didn't. He didn't know what he was playing with. You don't jump up against a divine messenger of God like he did. He asked to die. And God obliged him. No, you don't understand. Like someone said, did you Muslims kill Malcolm? So the messenger said, and what if we did? He said, what if we did? Have you ever seen a leader scandalized like Malcolm scandalized Muhammad? Have you ever heard of anything like that? Don't you know if you scandalize a man who's loved and honored by the people, what are you asking for? You're asking for death. And he got what he asked for. And those who killed him, they weren't sneaking behind no damn counter. They came in the place where the man was preaching and killed him in front of his own followers. That's fearless men. And those who were there to guard him, they were ducking. Damn cowardly dogs. Ducking and running under poles instead of trying to protect the man. And you saying your leader? You damn punk, you don't have no leader. If he's your leader, why the hell would you stand up for him? Now all of a sudden they can serve you a dead man on a platter. And you eat him up as your leader, not knowing nothing about him while he was alive and know less about him now that he's dead. Malcolm's momentum carried him to his death.
So it says that it's the voice of Farrakhan in 1972. That's what was showing on the screen. So that will be 7 years after the death of Malcolm X. So feel free to add on, brothers.
Yeah, that's all the proof you need, regardless of what some some letter that's saying, years after, they already admitted it. They already admitted it, that that they took place, they were involved in the death of Malcolm X. So, and it's obvious, you know, um, it's obvious that who the real killers were. It's obvious. You don't. I mean, that really can't that really can't be debated. You know, but but you have some people out there that's still trying to cover up. Still trying to make Farrakhan look good. And no different from Wesley Muhammad. Coming out saying after it was already said that the Prophet Muhammad was white. Okay, but now he's coming out saying that he was black. No different from that. But it was already said that the Prophet Muhammad was not a black man; he was white, and it was already said that already admitted that the Nation of Islam took were involved. The Nation of Islam were involved in the murder of Malcolm X. So what you say now is pointless. It doesn't count because the truth has already been told. And and I noticed him saying that, would you die for what you love? Well, for what they love, truth be told, is a lie. So he should have said, would you die for a lie? Because the whole movement, the whole religion, everything was a lie from the start. And it's the same thing that's going on with the Hebrew Israelites. You love a lie, you will die for a lie. And we have all these platforms that's exposing the Abraham faith as a lie, and you still live the lie. You still don't want the truth. And it is a lie in many ways, especially when it comes to black people. You know, and it's a shame. I'm not an expert on this Malcolm X situation or Nation of Islam situation. But I do pay attention to what's being said. I watched a video from a young Pharaoh who brought out a lot of information on this subject. And I say it is what it is. I say that no matter what opinions or theories that's coming out now, it doesn't refute the fact that it already happened and we already know who committed the crime. Okay. And you can say all you want about the police or whatever, but we know how crooked the police is. We know that the police will also, will falsify information, to make it seem as if the Nation of Islam is innocent. We know how the police is. We know that the police are, are some of the biggest liars on earth as well. So we can't trust them either. But it is what it is.
Yeah. And at this point, if people are going to do research on like the assassination, they might as well do it themselves. Like you can't, like, it's for example, that documentary was like all that stuff. The people who did the research on the assassination, they already knew most of that stuff that was coming out of the documentary. And with that letter too, like let's just say, okay, let's take into accountability. Let's say that, sure, they conspired, but at the same time, it was still 4 Nation of Islam members that pulled the trigger. So you can say all you want, but at the same time, they were the ones that pulled the trigger. They're the ones that got caught. They're the one on the affidavit that was stated to be in the nation as well. And there was a Savior's Day. Savior's Day, like I'm pretty sure it's going on right now. Like so that's around 8 days after the assassination of Malcolm. I saw a clip by this guy named Omar Shabazz. He does probably like the best research and documentaries on Malcolm on YouTube. He's very little known, but you gotta check him out. He showed a clip of the Savior's Day that was like not too late after the assassination of Malcolm. And they were like saying, "Oh, he was a hypocrite, biggest liar, deceiver, all that stuff." So it's crazy.
And indeed, I did mention Omar Shabazz yesterday. I agree with you, brother Chris. Um, that's the name of the YouTube channel. Omar Shabazz,
Hmm.
OMAR space
Yeah, you guys should check
Shabazz.
him out.
And but the thing you're talking about when they are saying he was a hypocrite, are you talking about the wives, the so-called wives? When one of them said, "I'm sorry to say this, but Malcolm died lost and a hypocrite," or is it something else?
No, it was like it was a Savior's Day. It was Elijah was giving a speech to everybody, and then he was saying like he's a
Oh,
hypocrite. The whole
okay,
crowd was going,
okay,
yeah, yes, minister, stuff like that.
okay. So it was Elijah
Yeah.
Muhammad speaking, right?
Hmm.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm not sure that I remember, but I've watched the documentary in full, so I probably heard that, but I just don't remember that particular part. But
Hmm.
um, I had some audio of Elijah Muhammad. I forgot what he was saying about Malcolm X. But I don't want to quote because I'm not really 100% sure. But I have an audio clip somewhere. I might come across it some other time. But regarding the wives, there's actually I was quite honored. I made a video to mention that, but Omar Shabazz used a picture that is on my website, and I'm about to share this. Now, this is the article that I've shared that link, Elijah Muhammad's teaching. Now, if you hold on, yes, this article there, Muhammad speaks, September 11, 1964. We have this article by Minister Isaiah Kareem. Now, that's the picture that Omar Shabazz used on one of his presentation or documentary. Um, I'm looking for the part where there it is. So here is a minister, okay, not just a foot soldier, a minister of the Nation of Islam in the Nation of Islam's own newspaper called Muhammad Speaks. Before it was a final call, it was Muhammad Speaks. So this is the individual here, Isaiah Kareem. There he wrote, some of these hypocrites accuse him of embezzlement, which is a lie, and the one who told it doesn't believe it. On the contrary, Messenger Muhammad gives his followers far more than they give him. And this has been true ever since I have known him. And those two prostitutes who accused the messenger of getting babies should hang their heads in shame for the rest of their lives for putting out such lies on the Honorable Elijah Muhammad.
It's crazy.
Here, the messenger has been ill for the last 2 or 3 years, sometimes too weak to get out of bed, and yet they accuse him. Now, I don't need to read the whole thing because everybody can go to the link, but the video on YouTube that is very famous. It's called it's a Faircon video, so anybody can go on YouTube and type in Faircon Malcolm X 28 years later. What happened? And towards the end of this lecture from Faircon, the so-called wives of Elijah Muhammad were brought in. Farkan even says, "You see this woman, this sister, this is the one that you see in a movie." And I'm sure it's referring to Spike Lee movies, Spike Lee's movie. I don't remember if he says verbatim Spike Lee's movie, but I know he said in the movie. That's the one that's pregnant. But anyway, they are introduced to the crowd as wives of Elijah Muhammad. So back in the day, a minister, an official of the Nation of Islam, in the NOI's own newspaper, the ladies are referred to as prostitutes. But 28 years later, they become wives. That's an amazing feat. Some people say don't turn a hoe into a housewife. Some people turn prostitutes into wives. That's amazing. That's just amazing. Now, feel free to add on, brothers.
Yeah,
Otherwise, I can go through the comments.
yeah, because I mean, these groups, I mean, they have for a long time been known to do the most, you know, horrific and immoral acts. You know, these religious groups, these Abrahamic faith groups. You know, and truth be told,
Mm-hmm.
you know, the people of ancient Kemet and Cush were doing very fine until the arrival of these Abrahamic believers. You know, they didn't need the Bible to live a prosperous lifestyle. You know, and that's why that they made up this story about uh the Noah's flood story and the Ham, Shem, and Japheth. And I'm doing a video. This is my next video. I'm doing a video on this, and I'm almost done with it. But and this is why they because they made up this story because they don't want to give credit to the Africans for anything. Now we know when we read this story, okay, there was never a migration that took place of a man named Ham and Shem. I showed that on the video. You know, the land of Ham, those places, they were already there. Okay, people just don't migrate for no reason. There are motivations for migrations. And when you read the Noah's flood story, which is the, you know, which is the source of this whole thing. Okay, when you read the Noah's flood story, you will see that the flood only took place in one particular region, which is the Mesopotamia region. They say that the flood flooded the whole earth, but yet the ark only landed on the mountain of Ararat in one particular region. So that shows you that the flood did not flood the whole earth. It flooded that region only. And these people, the descendants of Abraham, they migrated into the land of Ham. Those places were already there. Wasn't no migration taking place. That's why I'm so against these DNA studies, because it's like the DNA studies is trying to support what the Bible is saying about this fake migration that never took place. There was no migration. Africa was already there. The land of Ham was already there. The only man that migrated that we know of was Abram and his family from the land of Shem into the land of Ham. But Africa was already there. And now they're saying, some are even saying that the migration of Abraham or Abram that never happened either. And if you take away Abram, then you take away the Hebrew or Abraham's connection to Israel. And that's why most scholars are saying now that the Israelites were nothing but Canaanites who were already there, because there is no evidence for a migration of a man named Abram. So it's like, you know, there's motivations for migrations, and it's like you have lie after lie coming to our people. You know, this lie of Islam came to our people during a time when our people just got out of slavery, during a dire time,
What? Can I
just got
interject
out of
real quick?
slavery.
Man,
Yes.
one thing I found funny is how like the nation they have this talk of take off the white slave master's name and give yourself a black name, but and then they have names like Muhammad and all these names, but in reality it was the Arabs that enslaved us first, way before the Europeans even did. So that's something I find within itself that's funny, and I've never even heard Farrakhan mention anything about the slave or the Arab slave trade and all that.
Yes.
When he's speaking to most of the audiences. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. You know, and that's and like they tried, the Hebrew Israelites and the Nation of Islam back then, they introduced this religion to our people as if it was something new, you know, that our people didn't know about it. But truth be told, all along, you know, before the Nation of Islam came into America, what did you have? You had the Islamic slavery in Africa, which our people down here in America didn't know about. Probably didn't find out till later
Mm-hmm.
that
I still don't
the
know either.
role of the role of Islam in the slave trade, you know, and that's why some have gotten out of the Nation of Islam because of this, because of the role of Islam in the slave trade. And the Hebrew Israelites, they try to introduce this doctrine to our people as if it's something new, as if they never heard it before. Okay, but truth be told, there was never a migration of Hebrew Israelites into West Africa. The only thing that migrated into West Africa was the Bible. And that's the only reason why you're claiming to be Hebrew Israelite, because you read the Bible.
Mm.
People nowadays, what if they're claiming to be a descendant of Abraham, Moses, or whatever, it's because they read the Bible. They're lying. I don't care if they're Africans, Igbo, Limba, or whatever. They read the Bible. And that's why they're claiming to be Jews, because they read the Bible. It had nothing to do with the descendants of Israelites coming into West Africa and South Africa. No, the Bible doesn't say that. It's not even mentioned in the Bible. You know, and that's the truth.
Hmm. And indeed, they feel like what they are saying is true because they got it from the Bible or any other Abrahamic belief systems literature. And if we ask them why it makes it true, it's because it's inspired by God or it is directly the word of God. So they say, so they think, so they believe. Let me go through some comments real quick. Now, a Nuket world traveler, that comment was left a while ago, but she did mention in these trying times and without depending on the three major religions for peace of mind, how can I go about incorporating Ma'at to find balance? There's no ancient practices in this modern world. Well, some people are lucky to have individuals around them who are into Ma'at, but I'm pretty sure that the majority of us don't have any people or any place close to us where we can go. At least we have the internet. There are some literature, however, there are some books that talk about the philosophy or doctrine or religion or spirituality of Kemet, and therefore uh, Ma'at will be addressed because the lives were centered around Ma'at. And for those who want to take it further, then they could find someone to teach them the Mednecher so that they can read directly from the text. So there is the internet. There are some books and articles also, but mainly books. And ultimately, for those who are lucky to have some people not far away from where they reside at, then some movement or organization or associations that will deal with Kemet and Ma'at. Now, Anuket, out of curiosity, have you seen the video entitled Kemet and Ma'at? Now, Inspired One is in the place to be. Hold on. Hold on. Sorry, there's just a fair bit of comments, so we'll have to go through them quicker. Hold on. Yeah, there it is. Inspired One. Majai Commander wrote the only African of huge note in that group is, I'm sorry, with Muhammad was Bilal ibn Rabah. He helped hide the Prophet in or around ancient Aksum, modern day Ethiopia. I'm not really sure if, according to the Islamic literature, Bilal played a part in, and as a matter of fact, I don't even think that according to their literature, I don't even think that Muhammad went to Ethiopia. It was his followers who went there. I might be wrong. If I'm wrong, someone can correct me. Nestle Merat wrote that it was very insulting. He's probably talking about the videos that we heard from Farrakhan. Um, Now, Mijaya Commander is making a statement that is understandable. Lol, he told it to go to Cairo, and he's talking about Joseph instructing the camel to take Jesus and Mary to Cairo, and the camel complied or obeyed or followed the instruction or order. But indeed, we have to wonder, was there any such place as Cairo back then? Now, Inspired One wrote camel down. So, like me, he doesn't believe that this is factual or accurate. It's not disrespect towards Elijah Muhammad. As human beings, we have the right to say, I disagree with that statement. Magi Commander also wrote camel down. So, we have two camel down. Now, I did not write it, but I'm saying it. So, we have three in total. No camel up so far. Now, Nestle Marat wrote, I can't. Okay, well. um, be diplomatic, brothers and sisters. We're not looking for trouble either. Afro-Asiatic wrote Kedar means okay, okay. I've heard that before. Now, Magi Commander said, lol. Pharaoh said, Allah Akbar, already wrong. Now, we have a fourth camel down, or third one, if you don't want to count mine. Now, Anuket wrote, Afro-Asiatic calling should be interesting hearing your synopsis. Now, Afro-Asiatic wrote, the Quran is black history, can demonstrate that easy with Ad and Thamud of Arabia, they in East Africa. So apparently the Quran is black history. Malak Yashizkiyahu wrote, what's your opinions on the Copts? I have an opinion about the Coptic language, the latest stage or phase of the Medunecher, but when it comes to the Copts, those are Christians. Okay, we have the same brother. Let me. Oh, it's going to take me some time to actually find. Hold on. There's some people that I have to retire because they've worked very hard and they are tired. So they need some rest. There it is. Thank you, R3, for your contribution. Now, Nestle Marat is reacting to Afro-Asiatic statements that the Quran is black history.
Yeah, but there's definitely something wrong with this doctrine. I mean, how can you put your faith in these fake migrations that took place? I mean, black people just do not, take a deep look and just sit still and take and think and take a deep look and examine things. I mean, you sit up here talking about these DNA migrations, that's trying to correspond with the Bible and and the migrations of the so-called sons of Ham, but truth be told, the DNA is not really saying anything. The only saying is coming from the geneticists. I mean, the DNA from the dead body. I mean, how can you say that this DNA went from that place to that place? I mean, would be nice if that person of that DNA, who that DNA belongs to, would be nice if that person can come back to life and tell us the real story. And I'm sure that it would be a whole lot different from what that geneticist is saying. He's either going to say no, I did not come from this place. My ancestors have always been here. And the story is going to be different. I mean, It just, I mean, all of this pseudo, this strange way of telling history is not making any sense. You know, and you will entertain these fake migrations, these pseudo migrations all day long, but you have no interest in the truth. You know, what about the migrations that took place during the time of the New Kingdom in Egypt? You don't pay that in mind. What about the migration that took place after the fall of Egypt? That's documented in the records. You don't pay that no mind. All you want to believe is what your slave master is teaching you, which is these fake Hebrew Israelite migrations that never took place, these DNA migrations that never took place. I mean, pretty much, if you have no text to prove your migration that speaks of a migration, then you really have nothing but opinion and conjecture, which is just as good as a lie. You know, that's not the way history should be told. History is being told in a very pseudo and falsified manner. And I'm not the one to stand for it. I mean, I'm just, you know, I'm gonna speak out against it because it's not right. You know, it's very wrong the way history is being told today. People making up all these identities, all these fake migrations, you know, and telling us to ignore the truth and have faith in what you say. Forget about what the text say. Trust what I say. Although I was not there 2,000 years ago, okay? Although I was born in the world 40 years ago, 50 years ago, came out your mama's womb 40, 50 years ago. You was not there 2,000 years ago, so how the hell you know what happened? But yet we supposed to believe you and ignore the text. No, that's not right. And I mean, and I'm not, you know, and I'm not buying it, you know, and I'm not the one to sit up here and tell you a lie. You know, I'm not going to tell you history based on my own imagination. No, everything I say is backed up by historical records. You know, and if I don't have the source on me at the very time, that's why I refer you to my video. You know, because a lot of what I say, I make videos on what I say, and on my video, that's where I show the source because I am able to show the source. It's more convenient for me to show the source on my video. But what I'm saying is based on sources. And a lot of what I'm hearing today, there are no sources to support it. It's just from the imagination of the modern day scholar. I mean, it's being made up.
Right, right.
Yeah, I mean, and we know why, you know, because this form of pseudo history was motivated and instigated by racism and white supremacy. You know, and you sit up there and say that you're against racism and white supremacy, but you're supporting the very pseudo history that it brought about. You know, if you're going to be against something, be against it. Stand against lies. You know, because the way history is being told is not right. You know, a lot of what Brother Shaka teaches, you know, comes from the Metanetter. It's not coming from his own imagination. You know, and you guys want to sit up there talking about, well, the Metanetter hasn't been deciphered because it was deciphered by Francis Champollion. Okay, but you're giving credit to Francis Champollion, but you're not giving any credit to the Rosetta Stone or to the Metanetter that he's reading from, because that's the source. That's what we got to listen to at the end of the day. Not, you know, not the man in his own imagination, but the source. And there are a lot of books being written and a lot of teachers that's teaching history that's not supported by any source, but comes straight from their own imagination.
Mm.
And regarding the um, oh no, there's something somebody I have to retire. Regarding the Rosetta Stone, I showed an artifact from the Louvre Museum. I think it's about 300 BC. And well, actually, let me look for the video so that I can share it. Let me look for that video. Hold on, there it is. Oh, hold on. Okay, it's that one. Now the video is entitled "Proof for the Decipherment of the Medu Nature." So, proof of the decipherment of the Medu Nature. The link is in the chat. Everybody can have a look. Now, what I will have to find is the part of the video where we can see that artifact from the Louvre Museum, because I think it's 300 BC. I don't need the audio. So, it should be at the beginning. So, I'm going through it. Now, the Rosetta Stone, for the record, this is a Encyclopedia Britannica. Oh, is it shared? Yeah, let me make it larger. This is the entry from Encyclopedia Britannica 2012. So the Rosetta Stone was discovered in 1799 and went to the British hands in 1801. So if it was discovered in 1799, we can say that Champollion could have had access to it from that date. So if we add just 1 year, just so that we can round up the date, we can say 1800. Okay. Now that's for the Rosetta Stone. Now what I want to show you is the artifact from the Louvre Museum, and here it is right after. Now here is you will see the artifact right after. But we have a cartouche or chenou, and we have the name Alexander written in Medu Neter. And this is not the artifact. This is just a breakdown of the phonetic values of the glyphs. The artifact, yes, is 330 BC. Okay. So it means that it was it was I don't want to make a mistake. I have to get my arithmetic right. I have to get my arithmetic correct. Am I correct if I say it's 2,000 years after?
Um,
From
three.
300 BC to 1800.
Yeah, that's definitely. Over 2,100 years.
Yes. So people need to explain to us how come in 300 BC we have the artifact that spells the name Alexander and the Rosetta Stone has not been found yet. But when we look at the phonetic values, it does spell it correctly. And remember, brothers and sisters, at the time when those Greeks were there, the Medinecher was still in use because we have the records throughout the Roman rule, throughout the Greek rule of the Ptolemies, the Medinecher was still in use. So how come 2,000 years later we have the Rosetta Stone, and when the phonetic values are worked out, it still does match? Remember what's happening there. The Rosetta Stone was not known, it was not found. That's 2,000 years before. And the name Alexander is written. And I don't know if I showed the artifact, but that's the reference, right? And that's the Louvre Museum, Paris, France. And hold on, that's just an advert. Hold on. What's going on? Give me a couple of seconds. Oh, what's going on? The page is stuck now? Okay. Right. So I will show you the artifact. There it is. That's the artifact there. That's the virtue that stands for the sound A. That's the lion that first stood for the sound, for the R sound or Ru. And when the Greeks/Romans used it, it stood for the sound L, the phonetic value L. But initially, it was an R sound. That's the cup with the handle. That stands for the sound, for the K sound. That's the boat that stands for the S sound. That's the leaf, the reed leaf that stands for the E sound. The ripple of water that stands for the N sound. The hand that stands for the D sound or D sound. The mouth that stands for the R sound. And finally, it looks like the boat again, the same one that is here, but we can double check if we go there. Yes, it's the same. You see, there the boat and there the boat. So all that spells Alexander. Alexander. That's the way to come up with the name Alexander. And I'm pretty sure this is none other than Alexander, so-called Great, Alexander the Great. But yes, indeed, because here the title of the description says the name of the king Alexander in hieroglyphs around around 330 BC, made of basalt. Basalt is the material. And it says Alexander the Great conquered Egypt in 332 BC, and he became pharaoh. On the monuments, his Greek name Alexandros was transcribed into an oval called cartouche, like the ones for the ancient sovereigns, using alphabetical signs that they had at their disposal in the hieroglyphic system. On that fragment, or on this fragment, it is written from right to left, Alexandros. So if you don't believe my breakdown, and it's fine, you don't have to believe me, you have this artifact from the Louvre Museum, Paris, France. Now, sadly, we cannot see what the letter was because there's a letter before the digits. That's the reference of the artifact. But the digit says 30890. Maybe, okay, no, this is a screenshot. If it was a video, maybe I would have moved a little bit the camera and we could have seen the letter. But this is if whoever want to go to the Louvre Museum, Paris, France. Now it is currently closed because of the COVID situation, but whenever it opens again, when you get to the Department of Ancient Egypt, Um, when you arrive, you have a sphinx. That's the first artifact that you can see. Then on the left, you have some stairs. Once you reach those stairs, um, you have a seated scribe. I think it's a scribe, which is like a more or less around the late period, around 600 BC or something like that. And the next room to the left, and there's only one room you can go to. You can only go left. There's no other direction. The direction or the way of the visit of that department, you have to go left. And it's on that room there that you will see this artifact. You see,
Mhm.
so it's right
Mhm.
at the beginning of the visit of the Department of Ancient Egypt in the Louvre Museum, Paris, France.
Now that makes a lot of sense. Okay. Now had it just been Champollion just saying this himself without the Rosetta Stone, and then I would question like, okay, where is he getting this from?
I'm sorry, brother. I did not really get what you said. Can you come again for me, please?
Yes, I was saying, yeah, can you hear me now?
I can hear you. I heard you, but I did not really understand. It's just me. I didn't understand what you said.
Yes, yeah. What I'm saying is, if if this was all just coming from Champollion himself without the Rosetta Stone present, then I would question what he is talking about. Then I would be like, where is he getting this from? Is he making it up? But but the source is the Rosetta Stone. It has nothing to do with Champollion. It's coming from the Rosetta Stone. And that's what people have to realize. And it's like, you know, uh, there has to be a source for every claim. Just like when I asked the Hebrew Israelites, show me the source, show me an ancient foundation that mentioned the Jews or the Israelites in West Africa. If you want me to be convinced of what you're talking about. But if you can't show me that, then I'm not convinced. I mean, there's nothing, and I know because I studied, and when I ask them, they can never show it because I know they don't have it, and that's why they never show it. That there has to be a source of information for every claim. You know, now the Christian is another thing. Now the Christian will introduce to you the religion of Christ, but he will still acknowledge that, yeah, you're African, but you know, um, we know that you're African, and we're converting you to Christianity. But the Hebrew Israelite is more dangerous because the Hebrew Israelite is saying, well, we want to take away your African religion and give you the Abrahamic faith, and we want to take away your African identity and claim to be a Hebrew Israelite. So the Hebrew Israelites, they want to take Africa out the picture completely and just claim that you're a Hebrew Israelites. And to make it even worse, they have no foundation for that claim. That's what you have to understand. You have no foundation for that claim. It's like the train unrolled by and you missed it. Okay. And what is the train? The train is Isaiah 11:11, when it says the Jews were in Babylon, in Egypt, in Cush. And guess what? West Africa is not in the picture. So you missed the train. You're out of the picture. That has nothing to do with you. But you're trying so hard to live this lie, and you have no evidence to support it. You know, and um, and I'm always being told to show sources. Show a source what you're talking about. And I just want to share the screen here, Shaka, for a minute, because I want to show a source what I'm talking about. Because
Sure, brother.
yeah, I think these guys just don't get it. And they want us to take our focus off of ancient Kemet and focus on this lie. And I'm going to, you know, partially prove it wrong now. You know, let's see here. Okay, can you see that? As I'm sharing.
Not yet.
Oh, let's see here. Okay. There we go. Okay. Now,
Oh yes. Okay, let me share it.
yeah. Okay. Now this is even way after the Bible. Okay, and we see where the Jews are. This is from Josephus Flavius' Wars of the Jews. Okay, written in the first century A.D. Okay, and here in Josephus Flavius' Wars of the Jews. Okay, which is book 1, chapter 4. Okay, it says, and I'm going to read from here. For the Jews hoped that all of their nation, which were beyond Euphrates, would have raised an insurrection together with them. Okay, then it says down here, in the remotest Arabians and those of our nation beyond the Euphrates, with Adiabini, by my means knew accurately both whence the war begun, what miseries it brought upon us. So my purpose of reading this is to show you that Josephus Flavius mentions Jews in the Euphrates. Okay, and here, okay, it mentions I'm gonna go here for a minute and I'm gonna be brief. Okay. Um, and here in Josephus, Wars of the Jews, okay, book 7, 437, it says, and now that the madness of the Sakari, like a disease, reached as far as the cities of Cyrene, and then it says down here, and as for the other Jews of Cyrene, he concealed his knavery from them. Okay, so now it mentions Jews of Cyrene. So it's mentioning Jews in Cyrene and Jews beyond the Euphrates. But guess what? I read the whole thing. No Jews are mentioned in West Africa. And that's why I can't go to that passage, because it doesn't exist. Now, if it mentions Jews in West Africa, then I will go to that passage. Okay, but here's what the Hebrew Israelites don't show. When it mentions the people of West Africa. And then it says, and it says here, okay, Josephus, the Antiquities of the Jews, book 1, 130. And it says, end quote, time has not at all hurt the name of Cush for the Ethiopians over whom he reigned. Okay. And it says here, and Ragamus, the Ragameans, and he had 2 sons, the one of whom Judadas, Judadas, settled the Judadians, a nation of the western Ethiopians. Okay, now Judadians, that's another name for the Dadeans or Judadians or the Dardanians, which is in the Bible known as the sons of Cush and the sons of Regamaeus. Okay, which is another name for the Dardanians, descendants of Cush, a nation of the western Ethiopians. Okay, now the western Ethiopians, that's talking about the West Africa today. That's Josephus mentioning the people of western Ethiopians, saying that they were the same as the people of Sudan, south of Egypt. Now we know that this migration of it never happened, because the Cush was always called the land of Cush. The land of Ham was always called that. So they were already there, but it's mentioning who they were. Okay, it calls them the Western Ethiopians. It doesn't call them Jews or descendants of Shem. We find that nowhere in Josephus, nowhere in the Bible, nowhere. So it's like, this lie is way off. It's impossible for you to prove this lie that we are the Jews. And that's and that's what I wanted to show. Even these later sources, that's it's not even that credible. As that dates to 2,000 years ago. I mean, they don't even support your claim. So it's like, from that time up until now, it gets so faker and faker. I mean, when the fakery is going to stop? I mean, how fake is going to get? You know, if you're going to Josephus to prove the people of West Africa, why are you looking towards the Jews? Why don't you just go to the part where he says the people of West Africa were called the Western Ethiopians? Why are you looking towards the Jews? The Jews are all the way over there in Canaan and beyond the Euphrates, in Babylon and Iraq and Iran. That's where the Jews were. It has nothing to do with you. Your people were the Ethiopians in West Africa. Why you can't show that? It makes no sense. And I'm just showing like how fake it can get. I mean, this is the lie that our people live in today. I mean, they have no idea that they're living a lie, man. And you swear down it's the truth. I mean, and the sources do not support it. You know, just like, okay, Josephus mentions the land of the Moors, okay, but he says nothing about Jews being in the land of the Moors. So it's like if you're from Morocco and you're trying to prove, you know, who your ancestors are, and you're going to Josephus and you're trying to say, and you're going to the Jews, which are not even present in Morocco or the land of the Moors, then you're way off. You're living a lie. You know, well, why are you
Brother,
looking to?
I'm sorry, brother. I'm sorry to interrupt you. We have Majai Commander who's joined us. I think it's the first time he calls in, so I want to add him on the panel, but stay with us, please, brother. Radio One.
Oh yes.
Yeah. So Majai Commander, welcome. Your mic is muted. Now you're unmuted. Greetings, brother.
What's going on?
Hotep, I'm doing fine.
Can y'all hear
Please,
me?
yes, not that loud. If maybe you can speak louder or closer to
Okay.
your.
Hotel,
Yes.
everybody. What's going on?
Oh, it's
Yes,
much better
yes.
now.
Hotel, brother. Hotel. Yes, I remember Magi Commander. He comes on my channel and makes
Yeah.
comments. Yeah. Well, hey, how you doing, brother? It's nice to meet you. Yeah, I think his mic is
Oh,
muted
I'm
again.
good, man. Nice to meet you guys too as well.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
yeah.
just chill here for a second and try to get my audio and everything together.
Okay. Cool.
Okay.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, you know, how fake it's gonna get. You know, we have sources that sit up here calling our people the Ethiopians, you know, and that's a clear connection to the 25th dynasty and to the Nile Valley. But yeah, you're looking towards these people that never set foot in West Africa. Never set foot in West Africa. Okay, we know that the Bible set foot in West Africa. Okay, and the Quran set foot in West Africa, but these people did not. And that's the only reason why you're claiming to be these people is because you read the Bible. I mean, and that's why, you know, that's why a Hebrew Israelite is afraid to come on here, because he can't prove it. I would like to see him try. You know, I mean, it's ridiculous. I mean, they should have thought this out. You know, got deeper into the history before telling this lie. I mean, it's a shame. You know, when you can't go to the Bible itself to prove that these are your ancestors. You got to go outside of the Bible, and you got to go to a time period that took place way after the Bible. Ridiculous. And it's like, and to make it even worse, you can't even go to Josephus. You can't even go to Josephus to prove that you are a Jew. You know, in all of these migrations, and you know, I got respect for my brother Afro-Asiatic, but you know, a lot of the migrations he believed in, I mean, they're pseudo, they're bogus. I mean, you're talking about a migration from Yemen into West Africa. You know, when Yemen didn't have an empire till later on, and on top of that, you can't even go to some ancient records in Yemen that says that they went to West Africa. You got to know how history works. History does not work that way. No, you got to go to the source. If these people saying that they came from West Africa, okay, can I go there? Can I go to their records and prove that they migrated into West Africa? And we can't even go to records to show that they even migrated into the Horn of Africa or East Africa. We know of a historical account that mentions the king of Aksum had ruled Yemen and Arabia, and he brought people from Yemen into East Africa, and that was all that was said about that. But no mention into West Africa is mentioned. So it's like, use your third eye here. Use your third eye here and see through the BS. Okay? The only reason why they're saying that the ancestors of West Africans coming from Yemen is because the Islamic invaders are already in West Africa. So they gave you that origin. You didn't come from Yemen, they came from Yemen. You know, the Prophet Muhammad, the writers of the Quran, the original Muslims, they came from Arabia, they came from Mecca, not you. But the only reason why you're adopting that origin is because you read the Quran and you became a Muslim. Simple as that. Okay? So no people from Yemen migrated to West Africa. No Hebrews or Jews migrated into West Africa. The book migrated into West Africa. And when I say the book, I mean the Quran and the Bible migrated to West Africa. That came into West Africa. And that is why you're claiming to be a Jew or a Yemenite. And, you know, I mean, it's I mean, gosh, you know, years ago, when I was not studied or I was a novice, you know, I would have bought into this nonsense, you know, and I almost did, you know, that. But that's why our people have to grow, have to take their knowledge further, you know, and seek the truth, you know, and know a lie for a lie, you know. For example, we know that the Islamic invasion into Egypt and into Libya and all of North Africa, that is a historical reality. That really happened. Okay, but a Yemenite migration from Yemen into West Africa, no, that's not a historical reality. That is pseudo history. You know, so
Uh,
if you're gonna, oh yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
no, no, look, finish your point, brother.
Yes, because I'm saying that, you know, if you're gonna prove it with the source. You know, no, the Bible or the validity or the credibility of the Bible, that's another thing. You know, but if you're lying about what's in the Bible, then that's a whole nother story. You know, you took pseudoism to a whole nother level. You know, because now you have those who believe that the Bible is a lie, but when you say that Jews were in West Africa and yeah, Jews were in West Africa, now you're lying about the Bible. Now you're making up things that's not even in the Bible. And
And
that,
you know
that
the okay, the 12
yeah,
child
go
couldn't be in the Bible anyway, but
ahead.
um, you know, I'm reading a few things in the chat. I've read Sat 12 saying that well, here's the comment. Sat 12 was addressing Magi Commander, and he wrote, Diop, not that's Sheikh Anta Diop. Diop was a great scholar, but his linguistics trying to link Wolof and Egyptian have been debunked. He has been debunked by who?
He doesn't know.
You know, Sat 12. Can you tell us who debunked Diop's linguistic trying to link Wolof and Egyptian? I'm just curious. Who did that? But Magi Commander, feel free to speak if you want to add on.
Okay, listen. That whole Hebrew thing, man, can be destroyed in linguistics alone. First of all, the modern Hebrew is very different from the ancient Hebrew. And where is the ancient Hebrew in the old kingdom or the middle kingdom of Egypt? Where is it? It only comes whenever you get the presence of the Greeks, Ionian to be exact. So where is it past that?
Yes, exactly. Because it's there's really no telling how bogus this the Bible is. I mean, because even people say that the earliest date for the Bible being written is the 6th century BCE or 7th century BCE, somewhere in that area, and that's their you know that's their earliest date. You know, that's what they claim, but I mean, it can even be later than that. And because there are no manuscripts, no primary sources to really validate this book. I mean, that goes back to a very ancient time. So um it's like as the evidence comes out, then we know more and more about the validity of this book. But what I'm talking about is on a whole nother level. I mean, because I know there are a lot of people out there debating the language and when the Bible was put together. But what I'm saying is, man, prove that these people are you, man, because it's like they try so hard to get to dance around the subject or the question of proving that this is you. They didn't want to talk about God. They want to talk about Yahweh. Talk about Egyptians. Yeah, were the Egyptians homosexuals, and who's a homosexual and all that, and God said this, God said that. I mean, where are you? Where's the migration to prove that this is you? And it's like they will go all day and dance around that question, you know.
I
And
mean, first off, before they can even do that with as far as Yah or Jah, they had to deal with Ea or what's the other one? La. You talking about what Kinsu, which is Jehuti, moon god situation. You have to get past that stuff first before you can prove that it's your god and it's a god that you guys came up with. It's ancient Egyptian stuff, bro. You
yes,
feeling what I'm
yes.
saying?
Oh
So
yes,
you have
yes,
to
yes.
go there first before you can start, trying to prove anything other than that. I mean,
Yes.
that's why I don't play with the helio biblios, bro. I don't do the ham thing, the sham. I don't do none of that because first of all, that stuff is not. It's not ancient, and the ham thing was created.
Yes,
Um,
yes.
brother Mustafa, who's been fighting for um black citizenship in the United States, he already stated that himself. He put that on the board himself, and it's an Egyptian talking. You know what I mean? So
Hmm.
the fight has been destroyed a long time ago. It takes you every bit of 20 minutes to destroy Hebrew, just 20 minutes, because all you got
Yeah.
to do, like say for instance, brother Shaka, could you do me a favor
Hmm.
and look up Ionian, the Ionian alphabet, and the ancient Hebrew. If you look at those two, they're exactly the same. Hebrew is destroyed in 20 minutes flat.
Um, um,
Because
I wanted to find a link of a website, a reliable website, let's say. Um,
Yes, sister, he is still. I'm answering the traveling in the chat. Bless you, bro.
No, thank you. Do you have any link to share with me?
I can give it to you. Hold up.
Yeah, I mean because
Um,
this.
I'm
Yeah,
kind
go
of
ahead.
new to this, so therefore I don't really know how to do any. But I'll put it in private so you can see it.
Yes, yes. If you can do that for me, and
I have them side by side. I wish I could send it to you, but that's okay. I'll do it this way.
okay.
Yeah, because the Hebrew Israelites, they want to cling on to the curses of Deuteronomy 28. And it's like, prove that you are a Hebrew Israelite first, okay, before you even cling on to those curses. I mean, because if you're saying that these curses happen to black Africans, then that means it happened to black Africans. It didn't happen to Hebrew Israelites because you did not prove you're a Hebrew Israelite yet. So how can you cling on to these curses without proving that you're even a Hebrew Israelite? I mean, it makes no sense.
They try to run from their Africanness, man. It's all good though. Some of them aren't though. Some of them aren't. They still just like to cling on to the Bible though. You know what I mean? That's what they actually really want to do.
Yeah, those are those
Oh,
Kemetic Hebrews. Yeah.
right, right.
You just don't want to don't want to get rid of the Hebrew and just be Kemetic.
Exactly. That's hilarious, man.
Like
Hold up.
Mr. Zion Licks. Yeah.
Yeah, that's hilarious. Hold on, I'm trying to get you this. I hit. See, but hold on. Hold on. Even if you did Phoenician, if you say, but
Yeah, I mean because all of these beliefs, man. I mean they really put salt in the game. I mean they dull. I mean they really dulling up history.
yeah, facts.
These fake cults, racism, and white supremacy. It's like and it calls a pseudo scholar, that who wants to go on the right path, but he can't go on the right path because he's all over the place because he's believing in all this nonsense. I mean, you know, um, and all this nonsense will take you
That's
away from the
proto.
chronology.
Oh, I've
Oh yeah,
received
yeah,
the
yeah.
link
There it
in the
is.
private chat.
Yeah,
So
that's proto. Hold on. I
okay,
got
so
one more. I got one more for you. Hold on.
let me share this.
Let me see. Let's see.
You know, being that this religion it is what it is. At the same time we can't allow it to hate our brothers and sisters.
Oh no.
Yeah, just
Facts.
like brother Afro Asiatic. I disagree with a lot what he says, but at the end of the day, he's still my brother. And I still wish the best for him. You know, and I don't wish any evil or wrong on him because he's a Muslim. But I just disagree with his religion and his beliefs. I mean, but at the end of the day, we're still brothers, and maybe someday he will wake up and come around. But even if he don't, we still brothers. But it is my mission and it's my duty to tell you the truth.
Right.
So I'm gonna tell you the truth regardless. You my brother. I respect you, but I still got to tell you the truth. You know, and that's the problem with some of our people. Because they want to be friends or don't want to ruin a friendship, so it stops them from telling the truth. But I'm going to tell you the truth, regardless of how you feel about me, but but at the end of the day, we're still brothers. You're still my people. You know, that's why we come at the Hebrew Israelites so hard, because although they are Hebrew Israelites and they're living a lie, they're still our people. You
Right.
know, they are
I
still
am
our people, but
trying to
they
get you.
they just
No,
living a
no.
lie.
I was like, no,
and
no. Go
and
ahead, man. I just, I'll go
and,
ahead.
and I just want to say, Satwell mentioned that the person who disagree with Diop is called Russell G. Shush. Shuh. I'm not sure how to pronounce that, but it is spelled SSCHUH from the UCLA Department of Linguistics. Now, there's this PDF that's available on the video entitled West Africa and West Africa's relationship with Kemet or something like that. And I've shared many times this PDF article that is showing the relationship between the Mother Nature and several African languages. Now, those PhDs, they are alive. So I would like anyone who feel like it to send it to Russell G. Shu and see what he has to say. Because when Diop was alive, he went and kicked butts of the specialists in 1974. But after his death, many people who had a lot to say. What about sharpening steel with scholars who are alive, like Theophilo Benga and others? Now, brothers, let me say this. Now, um, Majai Commander,
What's
is
up?
there anywhere where the Ionan is showing the
Yeah.
Ionan alphabet is showing on that link?
No, I'm looking for it. That's why I
Oh,
said it's in two separate pieces.
oh, I see, I
Yeah,
see.
that's what I'm trying to get you the other one. It's two separate pieces.
Okay, but what you could do is
Here we go. Hold up.
okay.
Cause see, every time I go to the page, this page, it's a PDF of sorts. Here, but no problem here. Because I didn't really want you to have to find it
Mm.
on the page, but there it is.
But what I propose? Oh, have you found it?
Yeah, that's the other one right there. If you look
Oh,
down, you
okay,
can see it.
okay, all right. What's the shame is that I cannot open two tabs at the same time.
Yeah, I
But
know.
yeah, but I will open the second one.
Go
Asian
down to
study.
page. Let me see. It's a figure three. Um, yeah. Keep going down. There. You think you passed it? What's the page? No. See, it's not showing up in pages like that.
In the meantime, Sat 12 wrote Dia did not have a degree in linguistics. Theophilo Benga does. You see, I don't even see what the point is regarding that statement because
It would be 90.
page 90. So let me have
Yeah.
a look.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Oh,
I mean, but
okay, page 90. That's 99.
yeah, but although Diop didn't have a degree in linguistics, I mean, he spoke his own language, which was Wolof, so he
And
didn't need a
I'm
degree.
I'm glad you said that, brother. I'm
Right
glad you
there.
said that.
Yeah,
So he's page 90, figure 3. The Proto-Canaanite letters compared to archaic Greek letters, according to Nave 1982, colon 180. So is it large enough? Yes. But it doesn't look to me like it is indicating that the Ionian
Yeah.
alphabet predates the Hebrew alphabet. what this shows, well, it looks like this one is showing that first we had the late Proto-Canaanite variation
Mm,
between 1200 to 1050 BC, and then we have the archaic Greek variation, and finally the classical Greek and Latin.
mm. Hold tight.
And underneath, they're showing us the Phoenician and the Greek.
Mm-hmm.
But, brothers, it is midnight right here in France, and I have to go to work tomorrow. We've been live streaming for 2 hours, so I propose that you get anything that you want to share with the family ready for the next time I will go live, which will probably be next weekend or this weekend, because it's Monday now here in France right now, but next weekend, let's say. So I really have to get some sleep so I can go to work tomorrow, because
Yeah, I can understand, brother.
I I do work full time. I'm not financed or sponsored, so I have to do my thing. But thank you very much for calling, both of you brothers,
Yes,
Radio
yes,
One
Oh,
and Majai Commander. It was good to
oh,
hear from you, Majai.
indeed, brother.
yes.
Same here.
Pleasure,
Uh,
brother. And peace to you, brother Banjai Commander.
Oh man, same here, radio man.
Yes,
mhm.
yes. You also are you aware of my new channel, Pharaoh Mitzrayim?
No, do me a
Yeah, I have.
favor, put it in chat for me so I'll get to it.
Okay, okay. But if not, you can go to my Radio One YouTube page, and I have a video where I post a link for it as well. So
Facts, facts.
yeah,
Can I share something in the private chat real quick? You guys don't have to discuss it,
Yes, go
but
ahead, brother. Go ahead.
all right, important piece of work right here. There is a PDF on it. A light. Let me see if I can find it real quick. I don't want to hold you up. Hold on for a second. Let me see. Uh, right here. Yeah, got it.
yeah. And, I just also want to say, close out and saying, you know, the good thing about the Medu Netter is that
You,
you can go to the
mhm,
Meta Netter and find out your connection to ancient Kemet. People like, they say, well, where's the evidence in West Africa and other parts of Africa? No, it's the other way around. The evidence is in Egypt. The
right,
evidence is in the hieroglyphics.
right.
So you know,
Indeed, that's a fact. This is Hebrew is Greek by Joseph Yehuda.
I've heard about this book, but
Yes,
I think it's no longer in print, and if you want to
you
buy it, you have to pay hundreds of dollars.
that and you know why, right? But there is a light that you can get in PDF on Google. You can get the light version of it, and there are some
Oh,
people who also took up where he left off in his research.
okay,
Hmm.
it's,
okay.
yeah,
Well, maybe somebody might have not only the light version
Hmm.
or the light PDF version.
Right.
Maybe somebody might have the full version, but
I've been looking for it.
I think most scholars, most PhD,
Hmm.
I mean linguists, I think most linguists would not agree with that claim, but
Of course, but
yes,
but as I was saying, the modern Hebrew is Indo-European. You see what I'm
no,
saying?
no.
Yeah, it's modern. It's modern Indo-European. It's not the ancient Hebrew. It's not the same.
Well,
Those
it's not the same, indeed. It's not the same. Yes,
yeah,
indeed.
they're two different.
Indeed, they reconstructed. There was a reconstruction effort,
Okay.
and I think there was a fair bit of Yiddish influence.
Hmm. Yeah,
Um,
exactly.
but really, myself, I'm not a linguist, so
Right,
I
exactly.
cannot
I
I
understand.
can yes I cannot really speak too much on that. But
yeah,
what would be good is to have a copy of that one. Um, do you have the light version?
Let me see. Uh, I was trying to get you the. Hold on. Let me see something.
Well, let me just leave my email address.
Yeah.
So,
Okay. Cool.
so if anybody has
Get this to
the light
you.
version, and by any chance the full version, then feel free to send it to my address. I've left it in the chat. But now, brothers, I'm really gonna have to get going. So once again,
Oh
thank you very much
yes,
for calling.
yes,
I
brother.
oh,
Get you some sleep. Yeah, brother. Get you some
Yes.
here,
sleep.
here, here. Hold on, shot. Hold on. Here.
Okay.
You can download it from here.
Okay. So
Sleep is very important. Yeah, sleep is essential.
yeah.
Yeah, so
Indeed.
yeah.
Uh, I, I don't think it's gonna work, but because it looks like those sites that ultimately ask you to register, but he says that it's
No,
processing, preparing my documents. So
I'm
I'll see.
no worry. Regardless, I'm rushing. No worry. I'll get it to you, man. No worries.
All right, thank you very much. But I'm trying still. But there's many websites to claim that you would download
Yeah,
a book
I
you're
actually
looking for.
have
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
I
Okay,
actually have it. So I'll send it
okay.
to you. It's no problem.
All right. Okay, thank you very much.
Mhm.
So, brothers and sisters, I want to say thank you for the thumbs up. Yesterday there were many thumbs ups, and it's good that you, brothers and sisters, do it without me asking you to. It's a good habit, a good reflex, and really, I'm just gonna go and close out by putting the outro. Um, for those who haven't seen the video, Kemet and Ma'ad, then make sure to watch it. There's also Deception of Asiatic Black Men that might be interesting to you, and I will leave it there. So thank you once again, brothers and sisters. Duai tu Teru. Stay safe, stay healthy, and then from Malau to bye.
Hotel.
Teru, I would
All right.
definitely
Peace.
holler
Peace.
back at you. Hotel, brothers and sisters.
Hotel. Hotel.
Face.
Now, for the record, for those who don't know, I'm giving medical nature classes, and here, that's the flyer. Okay, so those who are interested, feel free to holler at me. If you're not interested, it's cool. But I recommend that everybody who has not yet seen the video Kemet and Ma'at before Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, then watch it. It has about 300,000 views and really deserves to have a lot more. I just want to let everyone know who's listening in now and who's going to listen to this stream in the future. I just had my first meta lecture class by Brother Shaka today, and I've had other meta lecture lessons by other teachers, and I can tell you right now, the brother is the best in the game. He is that was one of the best classes I've ever had ever. So if you're interested in learning the meta lecture, if you're interested in getting the basics of it, Brother Shaka is an awesome teacher. Get with him, and it's extremely affordable. This brother is giving us his time and his skills, and he's basically giving it away. I mean, I just consider it a donation. You know what I'm saying? So if anybody's interested in learning the meta lecture, get with this brother right here. He's an awesome teacher. And I'll end with that.
Hotep Senu, Hena Senut. This is Julie, also known as Servant of Yah, and I'm currently taking the Medunetra classes with Brother Shaka, and it has been an amazing experience. Only 2 lessons so far, and I feel like I've been taking the classes for months, just with the how in depth he goes into the vocabulary words, the construction of the language, the grammar. It's been immeasurable, the experience. And one thing that comes across, hands down, is his extreme passion for teaching this to anyone who is willing to learn and has an interest in learning. So I highly suggest, if you are interested, even a minimal interest, that you subscribe to the classes with Brother Shaka. It's such a nominal amount for how much you get. I know, like our last class was over 2.5 hours. It felt like 2 minutes, but because that's how involved you are in what he's teaching and how he teaches and how compassionate he is about what he teaches. Also with sharing materials free of charge, no question, no doubt. It's just what he does. He doesn't have to, but he does. And so I just wanted to give a short testimonial about the class and the effectiveness of the class. And all of that is attested to how studied Brother Shaka is. So I highly recommend anyone with a minimal interest that you do sign up for the Medunetya class. Hotep.
Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, which is Ma'at Forever. Don't forget to watch the video entitled Kemet and Ma'at. Don't forget to share Kemet and Ma'at on my channel on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, or other social media that you use. Email, text messages, you name it. Those who wish to donate can do so on paypal.me/ma'at4